Hello and welcome to Hops and Bros.
Craft Beer 101.
This week, one of my favorites.
Yes, it's an all-time favorite, I think, for us.
Yes.
We've been in love with this style forever, so without further ado, let's dive into Milk Stouts.
For an open window on the craft beer world, Max and Chris from Ups and Brew. Ups and Brew. Welcome to Ups and Bros. Yeah.
So without further waiting, the Milk Stout. So we've done stouts in the past,
Yes.
many moons ago.
And we've also done foreign extra stout.
And we have done foreign stout as well.
Ooh.
They're going to be linked at the end of the video if you're interested in learning more about those styles.
Exactly.
But today
it's a great way to go in depth into the
Exactly.
subject.
Because we're going to not talk about it much. We're going to talk specifically of an offshoot of the stout and porters, which is the Milk Stout. Yeah, it's a great stout. So the stout saw life end of 19th century, well actually beginning of 20th, but anyway, so end of 19th century, something happens.
Yeah.
Where the popularity of the stout, the porter, and the darker beers kind of goes down.
It's dying.
Exactly.
It's slowly dying.
Slowly dying, but surely dying.
Yeah.
So people are starting to look more at mild ales, if not IPAs even are starting to make an appearance,
Yep.
and other beers as such. Now, there's a difference between mild beers and, it's not strong. What's the word I'm looking for?
That's wrong. I
I
don't
don't know. Shit. Anyway, so there's
know.
two types.
I don't know what you're talking. Bitters? No.
No.
Okay,
Anyways,
perfect, sorry.
so mild basically meaning that it's fresher and sweeter. Now, as a rule, stouts do not fall in that. They fall in the other category, which is a beer that's better enjoyed aged. And
It's roasty. It's bold,
exactly. It's
not
not
a hefty beer.
It's a hefty beer, exactly. So people are going towards the other kinds that are a little milder. So the stout and porter brewers are like, well, let's just make mild versions of our beer. Which is a great idea.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, they started by making milder versions until they figured that the beers would just keep on aging and going back to whatever taste they were before.
Okay.
So they had to find a different way to sweeten those beers. Now, naturally, sugar, you add it to it, it's fermentable, so it's going to just
Come
get
back.
more alcohol.
Same
and it's
old beer.
Exactly, come back to the same old beer. Now, as we know, about the same time, Louis Pasteur discovered the yeast strains and how important it was into beer, and also discovered that some things are fermentable and some things are not, such as
Lactose sugars.
exactly. So
Which
they
is
started
also found in milk.
also found in milk. So they started adding lactose to their stouts, which had the desired effect. It would sweeten the beer without having extra fermentation
And making the beer stronger.
Exactly. So it was the perfect thing to do. It only appeared in 1910. The first guy to elaborate that concept was John Henry in 1875. Was like, oh, let's just do that. He didn't do it. He should have. Brewers after him started doing it. And
made it popular.
exactly, made it popular. It was an extremely popular style. Not only that, but it was the cure-all. It was the best beer ever.
Best beer
It was
ever.
the best beer in the world.
Because I'll state a little advertisement
Yeah, if you want to,
that
state
I've
a
read.
little, yeah.
Each pint contains the energizing carbohydrates of 10 ounces pure dairy milk, invigorating and stimulating, an ideal beverage for the rheumatic, invalids, and all workers.
So not only that, but they would legit say that it was an energizing beer, full. Okay, I can get behind those.
It's a full
those
meal.
two.
Full
It's
meal.
a full meal. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. It is pretty hefty. It was great for breastfeeding mothers. Okay, maybe back then I don't know. Things were different.
Yeah.
It would cure upset stomach and headaches. And also a bunch of different things that they would legit say about the beer.
Okay.
Now, naturally, when asked further, they said it was mild exaggerations.
Mild.
Yeah, mild exaggerations. I mean, if
for
it
a
was
mild beer.
if it was true, then today it would be a very different world, folks.
Yeah, a
Very
very
different
different world. Oh shit, I can't
So-
imagine.
Exactly. By doing so, though, they kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
The Food and Drug Bill passed in Great Britain in 1938, which basically meant that it couldn't legitimately say that it was a milk stout.
But still, doctors were prescribing sweet stouts until the 1950s.
Yeah.
Even
afterwards, they would say,
yeah. So keep on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Rambling on,
But
yes.
anyways, yeah. So because of the bill, well, they had to remove all the advertisings and all that. The style started to go a little down, but not before World War II happened, which so something special happened. Basically, in Great Britain during that time, taxation was a little higher, and you had to what's the word I'm looking for?
Cut down.
Yeah, cut down on
production costs
Yeah.
to make your business a bit more effective, because everything costs a lot more to produce, right?
Exactly.
This is what's happening, and also because it's war, all the ingredients are a little bit like you get trouble to find them. So the brewers had to cut down on grains to use and use adjuncts to still make those sweet beers. So the lactose came back.
Yeah, but well, none came back. It was already there. It was still there. What basically happened is that the beer style started to go from a higher ABV to a lower one. So it became a 3.8. So that's why at this day and age, your milk stout generally are going to be a little lower in alcohol.
Okay.
Now, the other thing it did is that brewers back then, well, yeah, you have less grain, but you still want your customers to be happy and to have the fullness of flavors.
Yeah.
So you would create the most flavorful beer you can
So
with the
light
ingredients
beer
you
with
have.
plenty of flavors with
Exactly.
what you have at that point.
Yeah.
This is what's
Exactly.
happening
This
on.
was the perfect beer for that.
And after that,
After that, it kind of went downhill. It didn't disappear, but it wasn't quite as popular as the other ones. Although it did make a comeback in America, and in America they didn't have the bill, so they didn't have to say to not put milk stout on the labels.
And we can have brewers like Left Field Brewing with their flagship Nitro Stout, which is a milk. They have the Nitro Stout, and they also have the milk
Nitro Stout.
Yeah, exactly. But it's both flagships. It's dark
Delicious.
beer.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. It's great. But yes, do you have more to add on to the
No,
history
please
of
let me know
of the
what
milk stouts?
Why milk? Why?
So just to get you guys a little bit more in depth into the whole milk thing, yes, some people added milk to the stout.
Like literal milk. They would put like a gallon of milk in there.
Yes, but milk contains under 5% of lactose sugars in. And if you want to do a good milk stout, you need to have in the range of 5% to 12% of lactose sugars in there. So if you're lactose intolerant, go slowly on those beers.
Stay away from
don't
those
stay
beers.
away.
No?
But maybe be aware that there's lactose in there, and be careful. If you're really sensitive to that, maybe not go into depth with it. But if you can eat ice cream and have all those other
So if the difference
milk
between
stuff.
allergy to lactose or intolerance. So
Yeah,
if you're
exactly.
intolerant, it's not bad. You're gonna have the same symptoms you would have if you had ice cream. But if you're allergic, in that case, it might be a little
but
worse.
I've heard stories of people that they were bad at eating ice cream, but
Okay.
good at drinking milk stouts. So who
I guess
knows?
try it out.
But just let you know, it doesn't ferment with the beer.
Or maybe don't. Anyways, we're not telling you to try it out
No.
or not try it out. Do you.
You do you,
And
we'll do
don't
us.
don't come back to us if something happens. We don't recommend, but we don't.
We don't want to hear your explosive stories there on Ups and Bros. So back on the beer. Usually the key factors of the beer, it's dark. You get a nice creamy head. So this one we've been drinking it for the past 10 minutes, so that's why the head kind of gone. But also low carbonation is a key factor in this beer. You want the beer to balance out the roastiness and the bitterness with the sweetness of the lactose.
I guess that's the reason why people usually go with nitro for these beers, because nitro kind of goes away from the beer faster, so you do get a flatter feeling for those beers.
Exactly. So you get a full-bodied beer with coffee flavors, chocolate, a lot of sweetness, super low bitterness, even.
And a bit of creaminess as well. I find
Exactly.
with most of my milk stouts, you're going to have a creaminess regardless.
And with the BJCP guidelines, which are not in this milk stout category, but sweet stout, because they follow the kind of
the
laws
laws
of
that
the
you can't do milk,
exactly. So you're allowed to have a little bit of diacetyl in your beer.
Okay.
Because you added literally lactose sugars in there. So it's normal that you get the full creaminess out of the beer. So it's a really easy drinking stout. We're getting a lot away from the dry stouts, Forester stouts, like those big, bold beers. This is an easy drinking stout for everyone. So if you're not used to darker beers because you're scared of the color, this is milk
Try
chocolate.
it out, because you're not going to get those
coffee,
roastiness
it's
and maltiness from
super
the
smooth.
others. Yeah.
So it's a little bit sweeter, not too much. It's well balanced. We have two really good examples, and also we want to just put a little
asterisks. There's
asterisks
different
on there
kinds
because,
of milk stouts.
We have the Vox Stout from Vox Populi, really great brewery. We want
Which
to
is a
review
milkshake stout, right?
It's a milkshake stout,
Yeah.
so they added vanilla to this one. But
And
on the right, we also have
the prorogation, which they added, Castle added, my brewery,
Yeah.
anyways, the brewery I work at added coffee to it.
coffee to it, so it's a breakfast stout.
Exactly, it brunch stout in this
Brunch
case.
stout, yeah, brunch stout.
A
Meh.
little bit of a twist on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a lot of different stouts that
Exactly.
you can do, and in all different like offshoots of offshoots. where-
Offshoot of offshoots of offshoots.
Exactly.
That's a lot of offshoots in one offshoot.
It's
thing.
shoot-delicious.
So, I think it sums up the whole like milkshake stout.
I believe milk stout.
Milk stout. Ah, I'm getting lost in my words again. That's amazing. But yes, so if you guys, are we?
No, we're good. We're good.
No, we're good. Okay, perfect. You're stressing me out. So please leave a like, subscribe, share it with your friends. We just break the 300 barrier.
Yes,
and
we're at
Max
308
is
now.
307 barrier too. So this is a big.
307. Oh yeah, that's right. I said 307 in the last video.
You
Wow.
said 307. Yeah.
I say a lot of things. Anyway, so cheers to you. Thanks for watching.
And what's your favorite milk stout?
Yeah,
Put it down in the comments
comments below.
Cheers, guys.